everyone. Welcome to tonight's Dream Team chat. Not me just hopping on like I haven't talked for 10 minutes already. Um, Welcome to our, will it be our last Dream Team chat? Yeah, our last Dream Team chat for March. Amazing. I've missed you guys. I was not here last week, but I know Alex did an amazing job. She did a really heartfelt message, and I am so happy that we get to do this together. And like that's what teamwork's all about. And so I hope you guys either watched the replay or got caught that live. But tonight, she had a really great idea, and I think that it is the perfect time for this. And so tonight we're going to be talking about this idea of marrying the process and not the results. Okay, and that sounds like really great, but what does it mean? Okay, so I want to preface this by saying that this idea is not just Sensi related. Okay. You can take this and insert it into any part of your life, and you will likely see your attitude about some things drastically change for the better. Because when you are not focused on what the outcome of something may be, but instead focusing on the process, the journey, and the systems that you have in place and the joy within, it's not that it doesn't matter about the outcome, but you're going to find a lot of you're going to find a huge sense of accomplishment and joy in the getting there, right? You know, they say like life's about the journey, not the destination. It's kind of that mentality. And we want you guys to really kind of dig into that with this business, because a lot of what I'm sure some of you are either coming to realize or what you've already seen in your business is that things take time, right? It's a lot of planting the seeds. It's a lot of tilling the soil. It's a lot of behind the scenes work. It's a lot of repetitive action and systems and just things that you've set in place that frankly doesn't sprout overnight. And that's okay. That's a good thing. Good things take time. And I do believe that to be true. But when you decide that instead of focusing on one day this is going to happen and until then I'm not going to be happy, right? We don't want to be there. We want to say day to day, these tasks that I get to do or this process that I have to walk out, there's wins to be had, there's growth to be had, and there's joy to be experienced. And so that's what we're talking to you about tonight. And so obviously I think this is for somebody, and that's why it was on Alex's heart. And so you might want to take notes because I think there's a lot of really good meat here. And so I'm going to dive in first and foremost with the problem with chasing the results. Okay. And I kind of already touched on it, but um, it is a problem to just chase the results, right? And I'll use the gym for example. If you want to lose 40 pounds and you decide you're going to go to the gym 4 days a week, and you go and every day you're not seeing the scale go down, how many days before you're a little discouraged because you haven't lost 40 pounds, right? And especially when there is no given timeline and there's things that you can't control in that, right? There's no way to control how fast you lose the weight if you're doing it healthy and showing up and whatever. There's no real timeline for that. And so you can start to feel defeated, and you can start to believe that you're not going to get the desired outcome after day working on it, working out, like whatever the case may be. You can start to feel like that's just not going to happen, right? And we're really good at looking around and being like, well, this isn't working, right? And throwing the baby out with the bathwater 2 days in or a week in, or you send out the messages and nobody responds and you go, well, I'm never going to follow up again, right? Nobody's responding to my messages. Nobody's liking my post. Nobody's buying. Nobody's booking parties, right? When you say I want to book 5 parties this month because that's the March incentive for the blue cute as a button warmer, right? And so when you're looking at that's the result that I want, and now we're 25 days into March and you don't have that, it can be really discouraging, right? Um, on the flip side, if you're looking at the process in which you've taken to try to achieve that result. And if you look at it with objectivity and clarity, you can see, again, this is looking back, you can see the little wins that you missed along the way. Um, you can miss, or you can see the successes that you had, the growth, the relationship building, right? The new customer that you may have gained. And so, in talking about this now and having this mindset now, what we want to encourage you to do is to see those things as you go versus just looking back when you didn't get the result. Okay. Um, so again, problem with chasing the results is you start to feel defeated because you're not getting your desired outcome. And we start tying our worth to metrics, right? To some goal, to some measurement of success, to some, title in this company instead of our own growth, our own achievements that can't be necessarily measured by a bingo card that Sensi put out, right? Or a big incentive trip. Um, we're not focusing on the measurements of that. We're not focusing on the growth that has happened in the last 6 months or in the last 25 days. You're just focusing on what the outcome should be. And we got to turn that around. And so, specifically in this business, it happens a lot with the sales part of it, right? When we're pushing, 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 we're being consistent on social media, we're following up, we're reaching out, and the sales just ain't popping, right? So, we can start to feel like, well, my goal for this month was 2,000 PRV, but it's not happening. So, I'm not getting the outcome that I want. um and instead you're missing the relationship building, the consistent habits that you're forming, right? Being consistent is a habit and it's a skill, right? And every day that you choose to show up, you're strengthening that muscle a little more, right? Building relationships with people, staying consistent with your customers in terms of following up. You're building reliability. They know they can count on you, despite them not responding, despite them not ordering, despite them not liking your post, right? I've said this once, I've said it a million times. If you are posting on social media for likes and loves and comments, you're doing it wrong. Okay. We're not posting on social media in our business for likes, loves, and comments. Okay. Likes, loves, and comments don't pay you. You're not getting commission off of that. Okay. And so, yes, for me, it's sale related, right? I want my content to drive sales, but I don't care if it happens on that post. I care that it happens in a follow up, or I care that somebody reaches out after I send an email and places an order. And so the process for me where I see value is, yes, I want the desired outcome of the sale, but the process that I get to find joy in is being consistent on social media, being consistent with my customers, growing those relationships, and doing the most that I can to find joy in all of those things. Right? Sometimes it's really hard to find joy in social media. I'm gonna try. Sometimes it's really hard to want to follow up, but my customers, I want to try for them, right? Another area that we can feel really discouraged, that is a huge part of this business. And if you're not putting some intention here, it can really slip through your fingers. And frankly, you're leaving money on the table, but it's club signups, right? Getting people enrolled in Scentsy Club. That's a really huge area of your business that you could be banking on residual income, and residual PRV. That's the outcome, right? But the process to get there is relationship building, right, with your customers. The process to get there is solving a problem, right? And those wins, when you solidify, when you name a problem that a customer is having and you offer them a solution, you're going to feel really good about it when that's your focus, right? In that moment, when you're like, oh, she's got 4 cats. I bet you she'd like to have these pods or this air purifier filter on in her club every 3 months, right? So she doesn't have to worry about whatever. When you can focus on the things along the way that dictate the journey and not just the outcome, it will improve everything. It will improve your mindset. It will improve how you move throughout that journey because you're not tunnel visioned into what does this get me, right? And that's the problem with, again, focusing on just the results, is that it's a very inward arrow pointing right back at you. What can this do for me? What can getting a new team member do for me? What does $2,000 do for me? And there's nothing wrong with wanting success. There's nothing wrong with wanting to earn an incentive. Of course not, right? We all bring main character energy to our own lives. And to some extent, that's not an issue. But when we're talking about longevity and going the long haul with this business, we have to be arrows out. We have to be arrows out, or else you're going to lose steam really quickly. Because like I said, it's not an overnight thing. So those are just some of the examples. I'm sure that if you thought about it, and looked at other areas of your life, you'd be able to see, where you're focusing, on just the results. But if you take a minute and look back, you'll see what the journey actually has provided for you. So I'm going to turn it over to Alex, and she's going to continue to speak life.
Perfect. So good. I think that this topic is so important, especially in today's age where we are doing a lot of stuff on social media, where we are very used to like getting the quick results for everything we want, everything we need. It's like, okay, we can Amazon it, we can get it here. We can take a medicine and fix that problem. We can do this and do that. And so it's like, in our brains, we naturally just expect everything to come quickly. But when you're the one having to actually move and shake and get it done, you realize actually that it takes longer. And like Bree said, so much of it is out of our control. So when we reshift our perspective, instead of like wanting that sale so bad, to instead saying, okay, well, I'm not going to focus on the sale. I'm going to focus on the actions that it takes to get me the sale. And I'm going to do that again and again and again. I'm not married anymore to the sale. And instead, I'm married to the work that I do to get the sale, knowing that I will get the results I desire by putting in the action that I need to get there. And it might not be that you do all your posting today and then you get all your sales today too, right? It doesn't, those wins, those results don't always come immediately after you put in the work or that you are working on that process. Sometimes it takes time, but it all builds on each other. Okay. So Bree kind of talked about like what those problems were with like just chasing that result. And again, it's burnout, it's feeling discouraged, it's measuring yourself based off of things that are out of your control, quite frankly, right? So instead, let's talk about like what it looks like to marry the process of doing these actions. Okay, because I think like this is actually what it's just a simple perspective shift that can really help us just stay focused and stay on track. Okay. So Bree did talk about a lot of this. I'm just going to kind of marry it all up together. But like, so when you are committing to marrying this process, what that looks like is like showing up with consistency, right? We talk consistency till we're blue in the face, but truly the process is being consistent. Being consistent is a huge answer right there to any process that you're trying to develop, of course. But it's like not chasing every new shiny thing, not waiting to work only when you're excited or only when something fun is coming, right? It's the slow and steady, right? It is showing up even on those boring days or the days that you don't want to. It's doing the things that you actually can control, like checking in with your customers, sharing the products that you love, posting even when you don't want to, having those conversations, following up, being present in your business, right? Those are things that we need to be doing. That is the process that is going to be getting us our results down the line. But we have to like marry those processes, right? It's the actions, not the results here. So like those small daily little things, those are going to be what builds a sustainable business. Those are going to be what gets you those small wins along the way to keep you chugging along and going. But again, that's not the driving force. The driving force is the processes that you're building for that. Okay. And it's something that you're just going to have to lean into and trust, because like I said, it's not always like an immediate thing. Like, okay, I'm going to go have joint conversations and tomorrow someone's going to join. It doesn't always look like that. Sometimes it takes time. So you're going to have to trust the compound effect. Okay. So meaning like these small repeated actions over time, they are building up to something great. Okay. Like this actually is where some magic starts happening. It's not in just like one lucky month or one amazing launch or one viral post, right? It's the small things that add up over time. They're the things that often get overlooked when it comes to like a successful business. You don't think of like, oh, I showed up every day, or like, oh, I, was super consistent posting, right? When you think of a successful business, oh, I made this much money, I achieved these accomplishments. But when you really break down those accomplishments and those achievements, it comes down to that small daily work that they did every day, those small processes that they leaned into every day, those small little wins that came in between those big wins, right? And so you just have to trust that those small actions that are boring, that are time consuming, that are overlooked, those are actually those things that you need to be doing every time that you share, you follow up, you check in. You're planting seeds, right? And we can say that, and it sounds so corny. I totally recognize that, but truly recognize that you are building a trust factor with your audience, and even with yourself. Carson, go. Then get a drink and go, because I'm on a training right now. Okay. Sorry, guys. There's Go, Carson. Go. Mom life, it's fine, it's fine. But like Bree said, even if no one's liking or commenting, okay, your effort is still the winner there. Okay, your effort is still what's planting seeds. It's what's helping your customers get to know you, like you, trust you, and then later down the road when they're ready to purchase, you're the one they think of, right? So it's not wasted. Your effort is not wasted. The ways that you show up is never wasted. Yeah, Michelle says they're watching, and they are, right? Because maybe not everyone is ready to purchase right now, but if you aren't showing them, if you're not showing up, if you're not checking in, then they certainly aren't going to be coming to you when they are ready for their fragrance needs, right? So this is where it's really important that you have to just trust the process. Okay, don't just take it from Bree and I. You could Google marry the process, not the results, and you will see tons of gurus talking about how incredible this mindset shift is for their productivity and for their overall life. Okay, because like Bree said, this is not just Scentsy related. You could apply this to every area of your life, but just trusting that those small things are actually going to be what adds up, and it's focusing on those things that you can control, right? Not that PWS email rolling in, not the likes or the comments on your post, but instead you saying, okay, did I share today? Did I show my face today? Did I follow up with my customers today? Those are the results that you have to marry as the business owner, because if we're just chasing results, we're going to get burnt out real quick. Okay. All right, so let's talk about how we can stay committed to this, right? Because a lot of times this is like we're working and we're maybe not seeing it quite yet, right? So what can we do that we don't feel overwhelmed or discouraged by the lack of results, or maybe not as quickly as you want, or maybe this is just a learning curve, a change of this perspective shift is a change is, oh, where's my words? This perspective shift is a learning curve for you. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. My tip for you guys actually is really quite simple. I think like we have to hone into simplicity, not just for me, but for you, for your customers, and for your teammates. I think simplicity is so important. So truly create simple, repeatable habits that you enjoy. You should hopefully already be doing this, because this business is fun. That shouldn't be a huge reminder. Like, we sell beautiful things that make your home smell good. Like, this is a fun business. And so likely you are already doing repeatable habits that you enjoy. That is my hope for you in this business, that you are absolutely doing that. But then you got to add in some business things too. So tracking activities, right? Finding like those rhythms that are going to become second nature to you, to where when you show up in your business, okay, I do this and then this and then this and then this and then this, and that is my rhythm. Okay. Literally a daily checklist. It can be as simple as that. A quick daily checklist can be your best friend. Get 5 or 7 sticky notes and just write a little box with some words next to them and put them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and just mark them off throughout the day. It really can be that simple. Did I track my numbers today? Did I share Scentsy today? Did I follow up with someone today? Did I engage or connect with someone on purpose today? Right? Like, did I show up? Did I do these action steps in my business? Forget the results. I'm focusing on, did I show up? Because I can't control what my customer is doing. I can't control what websites they're clicking and what they're purchasing, but I can control, okay, I'm reaching out to them. I'm sharing stuff. I'm putting my face to things. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone. I'm reaching out to people, right? Those are the things that you can control, right? It's on showing up. It is not being perfect. I think that we will never be perfect. And so if we're waiting for perfection, it's never going to come and we're always going to be disappointed in ourselves. So let's not do that. Let's just show up today, embrace who we are, embrace authenticity. Again, another core value that we need to lean into. Your people are out there, right? So take comfort in just like being your authentic self. That helps you show up better. That helps you be more engaged in the work that you are doing. Okay. So don't focus on being perfect. Just focus on showing up and getting those things done. If you only have 20% to give today for me was like maybe a 40% day, but I gave that 40% and I'm happy with that. I am proud of that. And I know that today I gave it my all, even if that's at 40% capacity. So the same for you guys too. If you're tired, if you're blah, if you're struggling, okay, go back to your checklist and do the bare minimum on your checklist, but get it done, girl. Get it done. Okay. It's just showing up and doing your processes and trusting I'm going to get the results that I need because I'm doing the processes that I need. Okay. And then here's something that is really important that you have to do. Okay. You have to celebrate the messy days where you still did something. Okay. Like for me, I was a blubbering mess on Zoom with Bree today. Like I was not well, okay? And then I got it together and I did some work. And you know what? I was proud of it because it's like, yeah, I'm really not feeling this right now. Like I'm really not well, but I'm just going to get my work done because I know I have to. And then by the time I got the work done, even though I didn't want to, even though I was in my feels, even though I was like not having a great time, I did what I know I needed to do. And I felt better because even though I had a crappy day, even though I have all these feelings, like I know what I need to be doing. I know the work that I need to work on. I know what I have to actually focus on. So I did it. And that in itself is worth celebrating. I got a few people to confirm that they're coming to my bunko today. So, hey, I'm going to celebrate that win, right? I got a new customer last night. So like, that's exciting. I'm going to celebrate that win, right? Celebrate those messy days. Celebrate the ways that you're showing up, even when you're not wanting to, especially when you're not wanting to. Pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself, hey, you did good. Like you are doing good. Give yourself tons of grace and also hold yourself accountable. Do not let excuses slip into a business that's on the back burner. Okay. But you can give yourself grace. You can rest. You can work at 20% capacity if that's all you have to give. Okay. But you dang sure are going to celebrate the little wins. Okay. You dang sure are going to celebrate showing up when you don't want to. You dang sure are going to celebrate. Okay. That PWS order that you get from being consistent, posting all the time. Yep, let's celebrate it. Okay. But what I want you to celebrate is scheduling out those posts, posting in your VIP group every single day this week, following up with your customers this week. That's actually what I care more about more than any sale, any recruit, any new Scentsy club. It's like, how are you working? Are you working okay? Is it working well for you? Are you having fun? Is this something that you can maintain? Are you ready to add something else in? That's actually what I care about. I care more about the processes for my teammates to make sure they are moving and grooving and doing okay. I care way more about that than the sale. Yeah, I'm gonna celebrate the sale with you because I'm gonna do a happy dance when I get a sale too, right? But we have to celebrate the work that we're doing. The work that we're doing is so important and it matters and it builds up to some really great things. So you got to give yourself credit. Okay. You have to give yourself credit for continuing to show up. Every time you hit an anniversary in your business, man, you better pat yourself on the back. Another year. I don't even care if it's another month. Oh, I'm 3 months in business. That's amazing. congratulations. Okay. Give yourself credit for all the things because you are a business owner. You're running a business. So everything you do is huge. You're running a business, right? So pat yourself on the back, celebrate all the wins. Okay. And if you're feeling off, you're not alone, friend. You are not alone. We're human beings. Okay, I'm doing a training, so just give me a minute. I'm almost done. Can you go? It's being recorded, buddy. So just go. I'm sweating. I'm literally sweating. Okay. Anyway, if you're feeling off, you're not alone. We're not robots. We're not always going to just like feel amazing. Life is hard. Things are difficult, and it's like normal to feel off sometimes or feel like, you're just not feeling it. Like that's completely normal. My business, my feelings, like I ebb and flow so much all the time with like how I'm feeling. Feelings do not drive the car. Remember, we talked about that last week. Feelings do not drive the car, right? But when you are feeling off, it's really important to recognize that and give yourself some like gentle grace there. But then I really want to encourage you guys to like plug back into your why. Like, why are you doing this? What does this business bring to you? What are you hoping that it brings to you? Like, why are you showing up every day? What could this business be for you? What could this business do for you? Like, what is your why and what is your dream? What is your goal, right? I think like these are very important visualizations to have, especially when things are hard. I know for me, like when I am struggling, like I really have to dig deep on the fact that like this is a business opportunity that has completely supported me and my boys and given me so much freedom and flexibility to be able to stay home with them and raise them and be an active mom in their lives, right? And I will never take that for granted, but sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget just how beautiful that is, and just how special that is, and that this business is actually what affords me that, right? And so sometimes I have to even check myself, and sometimes I have to like give myself a pep talk, like, look, like, this business is a huge blessing. Like, look at everything that it's done for you. Look at everything that it's done for your friends. Look at everything that it's done for your family. Like, this is why you're here. So, like, don't let this hard day get you. Don't let this hard month get to you. Don't let this hard year get to you. Like, plug in. Just plug in, focus on your why, keep your head down and focused on those processes and then your why, that deep rooted why. And then you let that pull you through your hard days, right? Because we're not quitting on hard days. We're not giving up on hard days. Okay. But we can give ourselves some grace on some hard days, but then we got to dig deep and figure out, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And then go back to those processes. Don't be so don't put your worth in the results, okay? Because that will hurt you. Don't put your worth in things that you have no control over. You have no control over the sales that you're getting, but you do have control over how you are trying to get those sales. So put your worth in your work. That is my biggest tip for you guys. It's like your worth is in the things that you're doing, not the results that are out of your control. Okay. So I hope that this helps you guys just kind of like refocus on the work that you're doing, and take that pressure off of yourself that about the sales and the clubs and all the things that you literally cannot control. But let's put the focus on what we can control, and that's the processes.